Do you guys like set it yourselves, or like do you just like hit play and it goes on its own in its own speed?
Hi, friends. So sorry about that. You gotta love technology. We are going to resume with Olivia Hayes' speech one more time. Again, so sorry about that, and thanks for staying tuned.
Hey y'all, my name is Olivia Hay. I'm a rising senior and I'm running for your student body co-president for next year. Some of you may know me as the tall girl who plays basketball and has a twin sister. Yes, there are two of us, you aren't just seeing double. What you may not know about me is that twin telepathy is definitely real. I love being outdoors and staying active, and I love to try new things, like teaching myself how to play guitar even when I know I'm not musically inclined. I was also a student council representative for the junior class this past year, and I'm a GLC leader and a retreat leader. Through these leadership roles, I realized my love for student council and for the different people I've been blessed to meet every day. I'm very passionate about making strong connections with my family, friends, and teammates, and if I'm elected, I will bring that passion to the student body as well. I love to bring energy and laughter to everything I do, but I also know how to take things seriously and make things happen. If elected, my main priority as co-president would be to make sure the Marist fam is exactly that, a family. I think it is important that we treat each other like family by including everyone and supporting each other no matter what. After the year we all just went through, I want to make sure a big focus for student council is to prioritize the mental health of the student body. If you've ever said to yourself, I could really use a day off, or mental health day would so get me through this whole week, then I think you would like an idea I call Wellness Week. Wellness Week would be a week full of no major tests or exams, music in the halls, candy in the counseling office, and games like Foursquare or Cornhole set up during lunch and after school that will be completely led by student council and solely dedicated to prioritizing the mental health of all of our students. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but about once every 3 weeks, I have what I call test week, where all my tests happen to fall in the exact same week, sometimes on the exact same day. So I think a week dedicated to being the complete opposite of that would be refreshing. Now, not only can we support each other mentally, but we can support each other physically as well. I'm hoping next year we can have packed stands, theaters, and gyms for all our sports, arts, and academic competitions. I am sure that, like me, you are all eager to get back to cheering on your friends again, but I would love to encourage everyone to also support a team or event they would not usually attend. I also know Marist students love a little competition, so as a way to encourage students to attend more games and events, I want to start Battle of the Homerooms. For every different game or event you go to each term, your name will be entered one time per event into a raffle between the whole school. Each term, 2 names will be drawn, and if your name gets drawn, you and your homeroom will be entered into a dodgeball championship for a chance to win the breakfast of your choice during homeroom. At the end of the day, though, I want everyone to feel like they're part of the Marist fam. And if I was elected to be your student body co-president, I would make sure that how our year goes can be fully in your control. This means I want your input and ideas for dress-out days, pep rallies, dances, spirit week, and more. Now, last but not least, to my rising seniors, the class of 2022, we are almost there. 43 days until our hardest year at Marist is complete. 120 days until our last first day, and 401 days until our last day as Marist students. We deserve the best senior year, and if I was your co-president, I would promise you all a well-deserved year full of positive energy and fun times that will bring us together and make up for all that we missed out on. Now I know I may not be the best at giving speeches, but I hope what you all got from this was that you can always talk to me about ideas or concerns, or just life in general. I want all of your voices to be heard, and I will always be here for each and every one of you. Thank you, and have a great day.
What's up, Marist fam? My name is Caitlin Jones, and I'm running for Student Council Co-President. Some of you might know me as the girl whose favorite color is orange, or the girl who has a serious obsession with all things One Direction. Others might know me as the girl who always says, "I'm a proud STM Tiger." Most of you might know me as the girl you couldn't recognize at football games because she'd be covered head to toe in paint and glitter. For those of you who don't know me, I hope that my introduction was impressive enough to earn your vote. If not, I'll just give you a list of reasons why you should vote for me. For starters, I'm organized. Between playing volleyball, managing girls basketball, and being a GLC, it is crucial that I stay on top of due dates and important events. With that, I'm inclusive. If I'm elected, I promise to all of you that I will send updates with upcoming games, academic events, plays, and more that would love to see support from the Marist community. If the student sections are opened up, each week we will have a different theme that will be used for every sports game that week. Next, I am positive that next year will be the best year the Marist fam has ever seen. During our fall or winter pep rally, I would love to invite all the female teachers to sign up for our first ever cheer off versus our varsity football and basketball cheer teams. Also, I would love to have a school-wide Marist Games Day that would be very similar to the Disney Channel games we all know and love from years ago. Finally, during Black History Month, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and National Hispanic Heritage Month, I'll invite African American, Asian American, Pacific Islander, Hispanic, and Latino artists, singers, performers, and speakers to our school each week to present and teach us about their culture during their respective heritage months. Finally, I'm determined. I have been a member of Student Council for 3 years now, but it hasn't been easy. Freshman year, I was one of 2 freshmen in Stuco, and my only friend in it was my older sister. Going into sophomore year, I didn't win the elections to be representative, so I was a member at large. Going into my junior year, I lost 2 elections in the span of 7 days, so it's safe to say that my confidence and self-esteem were knocked pretty low. Member at large, again, but I wouldn't change any of it for the world. The hospitality shown by every officer, representative, and teacher in the room was unforgettable and made me want to continue being a part of Student Council, even if I wasn't an official member. I will always remember how the officers and upperclassmen genuinely value the opinions of all its younger members. This is one of the first times I felt comfortable at Marist. When I was lost during activity period with no friends and nowhere to go, I could always count on the members of Stuco to create a safe space for me, even if they didn't know it. To me, that was the most important part of being on Student Council, being made feel welcome and valued. This is my greatest promise to you. Forget about the cheer-off or Marist Games Day. The most important thing that I promise to the entire Marist community is how I will make each and every one of you feel safe, comforted, valued, and welcome every time you step foot on Marist campus. I would like to share a quote that inspired me to continue doing what I loved regardless of the circumstance. It's by the notorious Cuban-American poet Armando Christian Perez. Don't be afraid to lose, listen, and always invest in yourself. Marist, thank you so much for your time. I hope that soon I'll be known as the girl who was elected Student Council Co-President.
Here's a fun fact that you probably didn't know. This year has been different. I know, huge Woj bomb. It certainly wasn't the one we expected, and it wasn't the one we hoped for. Regardless, the show must go on. Hello, my name is Joseph Patan. Patan, yes, I know how it's spelled, but if I haven't corrected you before, nothing personal. I am a rising senior running for your student co-president. Wow, I really said that. If you would have asked me a month, heck, a week ago, I probably gave you a less than reassuring look. Come on, Joe, that's not you. You're not the loud, super energetic, outgoing person. You're a chill, laid-back kind of guy. For example, you may know me from playing football, swimming, or track, or maybe you were a part of the team and you still don't know me because I'm not a big establishing my presence in the room sort of person. Well, yeah, and who said that's a bad thing? The student president does not have to be this large, sometimes intimidating personality. They don't have to feel like they're on this unreachable pedestal of which communication just bounces off. I know if it's me, I certainly don't want that. I can just be a guy that's approachable, a guy that truly cares about your opinion because maybe I don't like making decisions. If you don't want to approach me because I forgot to shower, or maybe I'm the annoying guy currently eating into your weekend, reach me through someone who did shower, like my little brother, shout out to Jude and the freshmen, or quite literally anyone on any level of student council. Shoot, but you can become a member yourself. Yep, my goal is to be as accessible as, I don't know, but what's something that's really accessible? Chips, yeah, be as accessible as chips. If nothing else comes out of my candidacy, I urge you to make your voice heard, because it's not my school, it's ours. Of course, I have goals to make everyone remember how much we miss pep rallies and dances, assuming we're allowed to. Whether or not we have these events would fall under the category of not within my reach of authority, along with the uniform, homework, and the fact that there's no longer way too much candy in the cafeteria. But actually, if my opinion means anything, can we get Haichu back? I don't know who I'm supposed to ask, but if some could point me in the right direction, that would be phenomenal. Let's say COVID-20 breaks out. Yes, science department, I know that's not how the numbering works, but I'm doing a bit here, so please understand. Let's say we're put right back at the start. Okay, let's roll. With a year unlike any other as experience, we're just going to figure it out. We just will. It's a simple beauty. Juniors, we've got 1 year left. I can't ask you to make it memorable because we're going to remember it no matter what. However, I can ask you to make it one we want to remember. Thank you all very much. Enjoy your weekend.
Hey y'all, my name is Will Dark, and I'm running for Student Council Male Co-President. I think it is quite obvious that the entirety of last year has been interesting, to say the least. Sadly, we missed out on events such as Homecoming and Sadie. Not only that, but we had to go through the most academically challenging year of high school at the same time. But hey, the good news is we all made it through and still have time to make the best memories possible, not only as a grade, but as a school. I can say with confidence that we will bounce back like we always have, and I want to make sure of that. The co-president of Student Council should be someone who has the ability to inspire and lead as they act as an overseer for events and projects on top of representing the school. I think I'm great for the position as I have had a great deal of leadership experience and I have participated in aspects of Marist life ranging from athletics to band. I want to make sure that the next year is twice as fun considering we missed out, and that goes for everyone. I think my experience combined with my outgoing personality will help to make sure all grades and people make up for the year we missed. The next year is so important for all of us, as we have spent too much time isolated from one another, and I'm sure it has helped lots of people, including myself, realize how valuable it is to have and sustain friendships. It has given an even stronger reason for our grade to be as tight as possible, as our high school years enter their last chapter, and an incentive for younger grades to appreciate the time they still have left here. I feel that the unity of the student body will be stronger than ever next year, as we will make up for it with more events, whether it be water balloon wars, fun games such as Are You Smarter Than a Senior, or even something such as lunch karaoke. I just want to make sure other schools are jealous of our spirited student section as War Eagle fever rampages through the halls. Regardless, let us focus on the future as things start to return to somewhat normal and summer approaches. Let's make sure the next year is a good one and no time is wasted. As someone wise once told me, getting back to the groove of things is just like riding a bike. Thank you so much for listening, and remember y'all, if there is a good will, there is a great way. The Marist way.
The office of the Vice President of Records is held by a student in 11th or 12th grade. The VP Records must keep clear, detailed minutes of officers' meetings and business meetings of the council, keep accurate records of attendance and participation of all officers and representatives for council meetings, and act as a leader at student council events. We will now hear from the first of our 3 candidates for Vice President of Records, Caroline McMichael.
Hey Marist fam! For those who I have not yet met, I am Caroline McMichael and I'm running for Vice President of Records. A little bit about me, I'm super outgoing, I love to meet new people, and I love to help people. Some of you may recognize me from out on the field. I have managed football for the past 2 years and I absolutely love it. Managing has become such a huge part of my life, and I cannot be more thankful for the close-knit, supportive community of people who only want the best for me. I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to be a part of that community and create those incredible relationships that both bring me joy and allow me to hopefully spread that joy through helping others. Student council is another place I've been able to find and spread that joy. I have served as a student council representative for the past year, and during my first meeting, within minutes of walking in, I knew I was right where I was supposed to be. People I had never met from all different grades came to introduce themselves and welcome me. This simple act of kindness and hospitality made me feel cared about in that environment, which now encourages me to reach out and spread hospitality to everyone around me. I know how excited I was and how much it meant to me that they thought to come over and reach out. I want to spread that impact to those around me. One of the most important things that I love about student council is their ambition. They work to create a positive, supportive environment that makes all members of the Marist community feel included and appreciated. I want to make a positive difference in people's lives, no matter if I know them or not, and that's why I want this position in student council. I know how much the little acts of positive outreach mean to me, and I want to make those good things happen in other people's lives, no matter how small. As VP of Records, I want to create more fun and spontaneous events where everyone in the Marist community can come together and make meaningful and unexpected connections with one another. It is through those unexpected connections that you can find some of your most important relationships. I'm extremely lucky to have experienced that unexpected connection through managing football. Managing is something I would have never imagined myself doing that I now cannot imagine my life without. I'm passionate about being VP of Records because I know I will be able to make a positive difference in the Marist community. When I'm passionate about something, I'm an extremely hard worker. I always work my hardest because I know those extra efforts can make a huge difference. Through managing, my hard work ethic has strengthened even more. I'm very efficient, diligent, I'm extremely organized, and I will always take the extra step to make sure things are done the best way possible. I want to be someone people can rely on, whether that is being organized, keeping things together and recorded, being helpful in any way, or being a friend that you can always count on. My goal is to be remembered as someone who is a light in people's lives, to extend kindness to everyone around me, whether I know them or not, to make other people smile, to be a helping hand, and to be a friend that never hesitates in showing people I care. As Vice President of Records, I will work my hardest to spread that positive impact and continue to make Marist a place where everyone feels happiest, included, and appreciated. Thank you.
Hey Marist, my name is Noah Madelo, and I would like to say a couple of things. When I decided that I would run for Vice President of Records, I would have to admit that I felt a bit in over my head. I was worried about all the details regarding how to present myself, what exactly I did bring to the table for student council. Well, after much thought, I can probably answer those questions. First, I don't want this position just because I like taking notes in organization. I want to be in this position for you. I want each and every one of you to know that no matter how next year turns out, I will be there to help represent you and your voice through thick and thin. Those of you who know me might see me as a person who keeps quiet, but I assure you that I'm saving my voice for when it is necessary. Before I use my voice, I use my ears to listen, my heart to feel, and my head to think. I aim to make next year the best year for everyone at Marist by hearing your voices and responding with change. Next, this isn't my first rodeo. For the past 2 years, I have served as a member of the Student Council, so I have a lot of experience under my belt. I helped plan homecoming and several other events last year. I used my voice to help input what I thought was best for you all and what you wanted. But most importantly, I was there when the world came to a screeching halt after the pandemic kicked down our door. Anybody remember thinking that 2 weeks of virtual school sounded fun? Yeah, me too. The feelings of uncertainty and resignation of the new normal brought on by a pandemic put a wrench into several plans, but Student Council still plowed on with virtual meetings and determined voices about new ideas and plans to bring the school back together. Hearing those voices made me realize that I could do more, that I could use my voice to a greater capability, and I figured that running for a position on STUCO is the best way to use my voice to its fullest potential. Moreover, if I'm elected to Student Council, I will make next year one of the most memorable years in the history of Marist. I have several new ideas for next year that I cannot wait to share with you all. First, I would like to have more inclusion of the less acknowledged athletic and academic teams at Marist. Also, I think that there should be more events that bring us together as a school, maybe a screen on the green, powder puff, or school-wide dodgeball tournament. I am willing to revisit pep rallies and Chanel Day in order to make it more enjoyable and fun for you guys. In short, these are not promises. They are goals, and I will work my hardest to ensure that most, if not all, can happen. Finally, in the end, I just want to share a heartfelt thanks with everyone from the Marist fam. Since I came here in 9th grade, I have felt welcomed by everyone I met, no matter whether I succeeded or failed. I am very grateful for the opportunity to be part of the Marist fam, and I want to pay forward this gratitude by serving on your student council as VP of Records. Regardless of who I am, what I did, or what I say will do for you, the main reason why I stand for you today is because I feel indebted to you for your kindness, your help, and your solidarity. And I am a person who pays their debts back tenfold. In short, I have a debt of honor to everyone, and if I serve as your VP of Records, I will try and pay off that debt by giving you back, guys, all the fun and happiness that you gave me. In closing, I am Noah Madelo. I am a person who's willing to use my voice to help represent yours. And I owe each and every one of you back for everything you've done for me. And I hope that each and every one of you has a fantastic day.
Good afternoon, Marist. Now that I have your attention, let's talk. I'm Charlie Kirk, an 11th grader, and I'm running to be the VP of Records. I'm not going to use up that much of your time here today because I know you all are very busy people with a lot of things to do, so let's just hop right into it. You know, as a VP of Records, you got to be writing stuff down, keeping facts, keeping records, keeping everyone in line. In fact, I would even argue that the VP of Records has more power than a co-president. You want to know why? Attendance. Let's say someone doesn't show up to a meeting. Who keeps track of that? The VP of Records. If someone doesn't show up to enough meetings, they're done. They might as well have not existed. I can be entrusted with this power. I'm an upstanding guy, a pillar of the community, if you will. I'm an Eagle Scout, grade level coordinator, and I tutor disadvantaged immigrant children on the weekends who have no other options. I also have a long history with politics. I served as my class representative in 6th grade until I got voted out. But more important than any of that is the fact that I'm a prolific writer. Ask anyone that knows me. I'm always writing stuff down. I've been writing stuff down since the age of 11, and I've been reading since even before that. So I got the strength to make all of your dreams come true, if you just give me your vote. I'm a down-to-earth, ambitious, modest, cutthroat guy who will fight for your rights as a Marist student. Vote for Charlie Kirk.
I'm ready. The office of the Vice President for Finance is held by a student in the 11th or 12th grade. The VP Finance must help the moderators keep clear, accurate records of all monies received and spent, make a financial report at council meetings, chair all fundraising projects, and act as a leader for all student council events. We will now hear from our 2 candidates for VP Finance, beginning with Jenna Woodward.
Hey y'all! For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jenna Woodward. I'll be a senior next year, and I'm running to be your next VP of Finance. I'm running for this position because I think for us as the student body to be able to have as many fun school events as we can, we need someone who's committed and who knows what they're doing to raise and budget our money, and I believe I'm that person. Now you're probably thinking, sure, she can say she's the right person and sure she can want the job, but why is she actually the right person for this position? Well, you're probably aware that handling a budget involves a decent amount of math, and, well, I'm kind of really good with numbers. Seriously, you can ask any one of my friends and they'll tell you I'm a nerd. Also, I'm taking financial management this term, so thanks to Mr. Shofity, by the end of May, I'll be an expert on banking, budgeting, and taxes, which will all come in handy when raising the money for and then paying for all of our amazing dances, traditions, school competitions, and more that we'll have next year. Being on junior leadership team this year, I've seen firsthand the organization needed and also the trials and tribulations that come with budgeting a big school-wide event. I also have a solid understanding of the long hours of hard teamwork put in behind the scenes by STUCO officers from serving on STUCO as a class rep for the last 2 years. And if elected, I will continue to put in that hard work as well. This past year in COVID times, we've obviously have not been able to do a lot of the big school-wide events because these new circumstances kept us from being able to raise the money to put on our usual events like HOCO, Sadie, Screen on the Green, or even the middle school socials. Remember those? 7th graders, hopefully you'll get to experience that next year. If you elect me as your next VP of Finance, I promise to go above and beyond to raise and save as much money as possible to make sure STUCO can put on all of our favorite Marist traditions. On top of the classic Marist traditions we have, like our dances or winter games, I have some other ideas to make the year after COVID better than any of the years before. I was a 7th grader once too, and I also have a brother who's in 8th grade right now, so I know what it's like. And for you middle schoolers, I was thinking, since y'all don't have dances yet, maybe we can add in another competition between homerooms or between 7th versus 8th in addition to your winter games. For the high schoolers, I think it'll be fun to have a more casual, more chill dance in the winter between homecoming and Sadie, a snowco if you will. And lastly, I want to have a school-wide talent show that anyone could sign up for, and we could all watch during one of our pep rally times. Like I said before, if you elect me as your next VP of Finance, I promise to work my tail off to budget and be able to have all of our favorite Marist events and many, many more. Let's make the year after COVID better than all the ones before and have next year be Marist's best year yet. So don't forget, vote Jenna for VP of Finance.
What's up, Maris? My name's Grant, and I'm looking to secure the treasurer spot. Let's keep it real. I don't have a whole lot to say, and this speech is really targeted my fellow peers who don't really care what I have to say right now, because I feel you there, and I've maybe got a thing or two that might interest you, though. I've got a bit of experience handling money. My buddy over at the Academy, our very own Sam Alexander, and I went kind of crazy with the whole entrepreneurship thing and kind of started up our own little real estate photography business with the booming Buckhead real estate market and the growing housing bubble we're in the midst of. We built up a pretty solid client base and turned ourselves into a semi-legitimate company, given we were a couple dumb kids in polos. All that to say, in order to stay at least somewhat solvent, I had to budget our earnings, manage our revenue, assign value to products, and the big one, deal with financial transactions. And I got some really solid experience doing that. That kind of knowledge gained from that experience is the kind of knowledge that taught me to stretch every dollar as far as it will go and to cater the product to the client. Both of those invaluable lessons are going to help me, if elected, shape next year in such a way that we're going to pack as many opportunities as possible into it to make up for the lost opportunities. We're getting huge on this one. I'm talking more dances, more school-wide activities, and most of all, hopefully a little less COVID. So believe it or not, I kind of, sort of, may be qualified, but definitely super passionate about this kind of thing. You know, other than that, I truly do pride myself in my financial literacy and such. I keep up to date with the markets, both domestic and international, and can speak the language. While my knowledge of escrows, disintermediation, or liquidity ratios probably won't do me any favors in this position, a general understanding of value, return on investment, and budgeting will. And that kind of knowledge is the knowledge that is going to allow me, if elected, to bring the Stoke level for the 2021-22 school year to an all-time high. I'm stoked, but obviously Stoke levels are at a historic low. This coming school year has the potential to be the most stoked on record, hopefully allowing us to entertain the events we love and more. The more part is exactly what's got me stoked. I plan to propose raising more money in order to put on more dances, more events, more activities to take place to take up for the ones we lost this year. My other main goal is to get the underrepresented sports and activities some more love from the student body. So if you feel like that applies to you, let me work for you to get your sport or activity some more attention. That's got my stokedness peaked, and that's just the beginning. This coming school year has more and more potential by the day, and trust me, I won't let a good deal slide. We're coming up on a huge year, one with more possibility than anyone's seen in a year or two. I don't know about anyone else, but I've heard the term normalcy thrown around ad nauseum, and I hate things ad nauseum. So help us redefine what normalcy means at Marist, the student body. We've got more Marist. Give me the opportunity to not just tell you here, but show you next school year. Thank you.
The office of the Vice President of Service and Spirituality is held by a student in the 11th or 12th grade. This person will lead the council spiritually throughout the year, chair the service committee within the council, and act as a leader for student council events. We will now hear from our two candidates for the Vice President for Service and Spirituality. First up is Lucy Linehan.
Hey Maris, my name is Lucy Linehan and I'm running to be your VP of Service and Spirituality for the 2021-2022 school year. So let me ask you, what does service and spirituality mean to you? For most of you, I'm sure this is the dreaded inconvenience of completing your required service hours on time each term and being forced to go to Mass on the weekends with your family. But for me, this job means so much more. If you know me, you know that my faith is a huge part of who I am today. I'm quite the perfectionist, so that single Friday during Lent, when I decided to break the Lenten restrictions and have meat, did not go over well. I then proceeded to go to Mass the next morning, asking God to be so kind as to forgive me for eating chicken rather than fish the day before. I know this example seems silly, and as human beings, we're expected to make mistakes every once in a while. My purpose in sharing this otherwise pointless story is to show how dedicated I am to my beliefs and how I will take my gift or occasional curse of being a perfectionist to this job next year. At Marist, I'm scheduled to become a Eucharistic minister for my senior year. I have served as a retreat leader 4 times, and I'm currently the chaplain for the varsity girls lacrosse team. All of these positions require an immense amount of leadership, and I'm more than ready to take on another role as a leader of this school. In addition, these positions have allowed me to become more comfortable with my faith and in coming up with prayers on cue. It's amazing how a moment of prayer can bring together a group of people, and I'm a first-hand witness of this transformation on multiple occasions. At Marist, I also participate in varsity football cheerleading, and I can tell you that I still have every single paper Bible verse we received before games. Such a small yet meaningful tradition like so many others at our school. I have served on student council for the past 2 years, and I'm extremely thankful for all the new relationships and friends I have made that I might not have otherwise had. I love being able to have a voice at Marist. If I'm elected next year, I will make it my priority for SEGO to become more united and that we will give back to the community that serves us all so well. I'm extremely thankful for all of you here, and I want you to know that I'm always here for encouragement or advice. Each and every one of you is so loved and so vital to the Marist community, and I will make it my goal next year to celebrate all of you and remind you how much you are valued and accepted on campus. It would be an absolute honor to lead you all next year, and I hope you know that I'll be thinking of and praying for you as we wrap up this rather unusual school year. Thank you.
Hey Marist, my name is Carter Rosales, and I'm running for the position of Vice President of Service and Spirituality. Now, I know that it's a little late and we're running behind time, so we're going to keep this short and sweet. As a Marist student, I'm heavily involved in campus ministry through the peer leader program, retreat leading, music ministry, and Eucharistic ministry. For the spirit side of things, I'm never afraid to show off my school spirit when welcoming new families to our school through tours, open house, and new student opportunities. One thing many of you may recognize me for is music. I play guitar, piano, and saxophone. I live for music. Just don't ask what my favorite song is, or else we'll be talking for longer than mom's picking up at a sleepover. Regardless, I especially love playing for the entire student body in pep rallies, Chanel Day, and even school masses because of the amount of energy in the air. Maybe not so much on Wednesday mornings, but the point being, the feeling of community is like nothing else, and bringing the entire student body together to support one another is one of the greatest abilities that we have as Marist students. As your VP of Service and Spirituality, I can ensure that the dress-out themes will be more creative and extreme than ever, but I'd really like to talk about something that every Marist student can relate to, and that's community service. With COVID taking over our lives for this last year, community service has looked a bit odd when compared to our normal La Amistad or sunrise visits, but soon enough, at the end of this pandemic, we'll be leading the daily trivia and serving lunch to the needy members of our community before we know it. I personally have had some pretty incredible experiences through community service, and I want to provide those same opportunities for you students within your religion classes. These service projects in your religion classes will allow you to work alongside your classmates to complete service hours that can be credited towards your annual requirement. Once again, my name is Carter Rosales, and as your VP of Service and Spirituality, I can ensure that every Friday night lights will be one to remember, and service projects will be more than a donation. There'll be a call to unite among your peers, because after all, the best way to find yourself is by getting lost in the service of others. And I am here to serve you.
Thank you, Carter. Voting will open now. You will receive an email to your Marist email account. Remember, we are using approval voting, which means that you can select any of the candidates that you approve of for each office. Please take a moment before you leave campus today to vote. Teachers, I appreciate your help encouraging students to vote right now. Thank you so much for y'all's attention. Classes are dismissed at the discretion of your teacher. Happy Friday Eve.